Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. David Rogers from Pre-Write, and we're giving you guys an update on our progress here. Sam and I have been working heads down for the last 2 months, just making some amazing improvements to Pre-Write, the system itself, how it builds stories, making it more flexible so that we can add all sorts of different features in the future with relative ease. But I'm not actually going to talk about any of that yet. We'll do that for a later update. But what I would like to talk about is some UI differences. So our users have given us some outstanding feedback. And I feel one of the most important things that they've communicated to us is that the process of using Pre-Write is a little too cerebral. It's like you're working on one scene, then you're working on the next, then you're working on a character. It's just kind of this stepwise thing, which can be good at the beginning of a project. But then when you get into a flow, going in and out of windows to open up a scene and edit it starts to become a little cumbersome. So what we've done is we've made some improvements to the way you edit scenes and characters in the story itself. So I'm going to hop over to the timeline. And this is an episode of Game of Thrones. And I'm going to click on a scene. And you'll have to look at our live website to understand the difference, but the overall design of this editing window is different. And it's, in my opinion, much better. It's just more page-like. So you've got some spacing on the sides. It's easier to focus on the letters. The contrast is better. We have better information readily available about each character. And the controls for editing your theme and your emotional value and managing your plot threads, which can get very complex, have now become more intuitive and easier to use and all in one place. So that's kind of like just a quick preview overview of the editing experience for a scene. As you can see up here on the top, you can undo and redo anything you change, and you can exit out of this window without saving, which is different from the way it used to work. You used to make your changes and then save. And the only thing you could undo or redo was the content you were typing for the scene. Now, any change you make to a scene, whether it's an image or the emotional value or adding a plot thread, all of that can just be undone and redone with relative ease. So let's hop back in and I'll show you what I mean by a more fluid experience. That's what people were asking for. So basically, when I'm in this scene and I'm done editing this scene, it's really easy now for me just to navigate to the next scene. It's also easy for me to insert a scene after this or before it, or delete this scene just from this top menu here. This button on the right will allow us to view it in full screen, so it doesn't appear kind of like a pop-up, but more like a page in a word processor. And once I'm done editing this scene or the next, and I want to edit a character, I can actually jump into a character from this view. And so here's Jon Snow. This layout of this is a lot different than what we have on our live website as well. It's just a little cleaner, more page-like. And another difference here is that you can add multiple archetypes. That's another thing that our users were asking for this character. And you can add a cover image for their background. As you can see, Jon Snow has kind of a background image here. Ramsay doesn't, but I could like type mean dogs and find a dog. And now Ramsay has a background image as well. And again, I just exit out of this and those changes are saved. I don't have to save them myself. So that's just a really quick UI update that we wanted to show you guys. We're making a ton of changes to the back end, and it's going to make the system so flexible and so amazing. And we're also currently ready to start tying up some of the enterprise features and real-time collaboration features we've been working on as well. And we're going to kind of show you that at a later date with a different update. But thanks for taking the time to check out these UI updates. And thank you again for all the support. Happy New Year.